created by MindStick's Foundation Trust.
Hello, students, and welcome to today's Explainer. Now, I want you to observe something very common. Many times we see players consuming some foodstuffs during the short breaks of a game. Why do you think they're doing this? Let's use our brain power for a moment. They need immediate energy, don't they? Yes, our body is constantly harvesting energy just to keep us going. So let's dive right into this and understand exactly how our incredible bodies achieve this remarkable feat.
To really understand this, we first need to look at living organisms and life processes. We consume various plant materials daily, and from them we obtain nutrients, like carbohydrates, fats, and proteins. For instance, we get our carbohydrates from milk, fruits, jaggery, and cereals like wheat and rice. Now, here's a very crucial point to remember. We get exactly 4 kilocalories of energy per gram of carbohydrates. This continuous supply of energy is literally what powers all our life processes, which, by the way, work together in complete coordination.
Today, we are going to explore this journey methodically. First, life processes and energy. Second, body versus cellular respiration. Third, the 3 steps of respiration. Fourth, ATP, the energy currency. And finally, alternative energy sources. We're going on a fascinating journey from the macro level of the whole body right down to the microscopic cellular molecules.
Let us start with Section 1, Life Processes and Energy.
So carbohydrates, fats, and lipids are absolutely our main sources of energy. This energy is harvested by the mitochondria, which are present in each and every cell of our body. But it's not like only foodstuff is sufficient for energy production. No. Oxygen is also absolutely necessary alongside that food. Both the foodstuffs and oxygen are transported right up to the cell via our circulatory system. It is a beautiful setup, all flawlessly coordinated by the body's central control system.
Moving on to Section 2, Body versus Cellular Respiration. You see, respiration actually occurs at 2 distinct levels in living organisms. Let us clearly contrast them so there is no confusion. At the body level, respiration is simply the exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide between our body and the surroundings. It is just breathing in and out. However, at the cellular level, it's a completely different chemical process. Here, the foodstuffs are oxidized, and this oxidation can actually happen either with or without the help of oxygen.
Looking at the macro level, our human respiratory system simply takes in the oxygen. The carbohydrates from the food we consume every single day are mainly utilized for the production of energy required for our daily needs. When oxygen is involved in this process, we call it aerobic respiration. Now we are going to zoom in from this large organ system all the way down to the cellular level to see exactly how this aerobic respiration happens step by step.
Now for Section 3, the 3 steps of respiration. In aerobic respiration, a molecule of glucose is completely oxidized in 3 very strict steps. These are glycolysis, the tricarboxylic acid cycle, commonly known as the Krebs cycle, and finally, the electron transfer chain reaction. Let us look at them one by one. Let's detail the first step, glycolysis. This occurs right inside the cell's cytoplasm. Here, a single molecule of glucose is oxidized step by step. This forms pyruvic acid, ATP, NADH2, and water. But the process certainly doesn't stop there. Those pyruvic acid molecules are then converted into acetyl coenzyme A. During this specific conversion, 2 molecules of NADH2 and 2 molecules of CO2 are released. This conversion is absolutely crucial because it acts as the key that unlocks our next step. This brings us inside the mitochondria, where Step 2, the Krebs cycle, takes place. Both molecules of acetyl-CoA enter the mitochondria. Inside, a cyclical chain of reactions is operated. The acetyl part of acetyl-CoA is completely oxidized through this cycle. As a result of this, molecules of CO2, H2O, NADH2, and FADH2 are derived. It is just like a brilliant biological machine constantly at work, isn't it? Finally, we reach Step 3, the electron transfer chain reaction. This operates exclusively inside the mitochondria. The molecules of NADH2 and FADH2 that were formed earlier now participate right here. Due to this chain reaction, we obtain 3 molecules of ATP from each NADH2 molecule and 2 molecules of ATP from each FADH2 molecule. Water molecules are also formed here. Thus, a molecule of glucose is completely oxidized in aerobic respiration, producing CO2, water, and of course, our much-needed energy. This takes us to Section 4, ATP, the energy currency. I want you to think of your cell as having its very own economy, one that actively spends currency. Well, that currency is ATP, or adenosine triphosphate. It is an energy-rich molecule where energy is safely stored in the bonds by which phosphate groups are attached to each other. These molecules are stored in the cells as per their need. The really crucial point to grasp here is that energy is derived by literally breaking these specific phosphate bonds. For our focused learners today, let us break down the exact chemical makeup of this vital molecule. Chemically speaking, ATP is made of adenine, which is a nitrogenous compound, a ribose pentose sugar, and 3 vital phosphate groups, all packed together into one tiny powerhouse. So when the cell actually needs energy, the terminal phosphate bond is broken. The ATP converts to ADP, and inorganic phosphate is completely separated, and a sudden burst of energy is released. This is exactly why ATP is called the true energy currency of the cell. It pays for all the cellular work. And finally, Section 5, alternative energy sources. But we must ask, what happens if the primary fuel runs out? Say there is an insufficient amount of carbohydrates in the body due to exceptional conditions like fasting or hunger. Well, the body has a brilliant backup mechanism. The lipids are converted into fatty acids, and the proteins are converted into amino acids. Then, both these fatty acids and amino acids are cleverly converted into acetyl-CoA. Energy is then obtained through the complete oxidation of this acetyl-CoA by the Krebs cycle in the mitochondria. The system adapts flawlessly. So, as we conclude today's explainer, I want to leave you with a final thought. Just think about the sheer resilience of human cellular respiration. How does your own body adapt when those carbohydrates completely run out during a fast? Well, the incredible machinery inside your cells simply shifts gears, converting stored fats and proteins to keep that vital energy currency flowing. It is truly marvelous. I really hope this slide presentation has helped you grasp these essential life processes. Thank you so much for learning with me today.